Welcome back to the channel and to another WWE 2K16 video. This, as always, is the 101. So we previously covered ways to use ladders and chairs in the game. This time around though, it is the turn of the table. Therefore, this one is ways to use tables in WWE 2K16. So let's kick this off with the most basic of the bunch, the table strike. You can strike your opponent with a table in the game using the strike button from the front or back, the corner, the ground, and from the running positions. Admittedly, not the most exciting way to use the table, but still definitely a simple yet effective way to use one. Another way to use the table is to throw one at your opponent. Just like the ability to do this with the ladder as we covered in the previous video, this might not be an obvious way to use a table, but in the right situation it can definitely be a handy thing to know. Next up, we have got the table grapple. Not much to say here as there is only one table grapple in the game, and that grapple is a quick shot to the gut resulting in putting your opponent onto the table. It's probably worth noting here that whilst on the table a few grapples can be done to the upper, middle and lower sections. There is also some grapples when your opponent is placed in the corner against the table. Some painful looking stuff indeed. Moving away from the standard table temporarily and turning our attention to the announcer's table, which just like the normal table can be used in multiple ways. You can either bounce your opponent off the table with a grapple or even an Irish whip, and you can obviously put your opponent through the table if you have the announce table OMG moment equipped. Whilst the table finishers do technically come under one section and are all done in the same way, there is three main variations that can be done. These include a finisher with both superstars on the table, a finisher from the floor position, and a diving finisher. For me at least, the diving table finishers remain some of the best, although they do remain fairly limited. But with a glitch found in my 5 Things You Might Not Know series, there is a way to do regular diving finishers through the announcer's table, so if you're interested, feel free to check that out, link on the screen. It's also worth noting here that the good thing about using the announcer's table is that putting your opponent through one does not result in a DQ finish and does result in a victory if used in a table match. But let's get back to the regular tables, because before you can put your opponent through a regular table, which is likely going to be your main aim when using one, you need to actually get a table set up. So the regular way, in the corner, you can lean one against the ropes, and you also have the ability to double stack the tables one on top of another. Another way to use the table is to create what I like to call the steel table. What this basically is a table laid out over two sets of steel steps, which does involve some careful positioning, but when this does work out right, some very cool spots like you're seeing on the screen can be done. Alternatively, you can also lay the table out in a similar way without the steel steps and simply do your moves on it. But of course, probably the most obvious way to use the table is of course to put your opponent through one. Putting your opponent through a table is obviously a pretty epic thing to do and can be done from a variety of positions. You can do a front grapple, a back grapple, a corner move, a top rope move, a diving move, an apron move. Pretty much any position in the game can be used to put your opponent through a table. This also including one or two of the OMG moments and even ladder moves and finishers. Now obviously these are pretty awesome and can be as complicated or as easy as you want them to be. However, with a little creativity, some pretty epic spots can be had, and I'm sure you would agree with me, some pretty painful looking stuff. And finally, potentially saving the most extreme one till last, you have the ability to set the table on fire, creating a flaming table. Now whilst this is something we really don't see in actual WWE anymore, it can still be done in the games. For those that might not know, this can simply be done by approaching a setup table when you have a stored finisher and pressing the finisher button next to the table. This can obviously be pretty epic and definitely helps towards creating some extreme moments, and who doesn't love a good old flaming table? So that is it guys, that is ways to use tables in WWE 2K16. Let me know your thoughts on today's featured video and let me know of any other ways to use tables that you haven't seen featured in it. If you missed the previous videos including ways to use ladders and ways to use chairs, then links to those are both on my screen as well as down below. And yeah, that is it for this one. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, as always, a like rating will be awesome to see. Stay tuned to the channel for plenty more videos like this coming very, very soon. And until next time, this has been 101, and I will see you all on the next one.